Coming up on West Side Stories, Grand Valley State University celebrates the life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr.
Plus, New Year, New You. We check out just how many people are flooding local gyms to keep up with their New Year's resolution.
And mythical creatures have invaded the Grand Rapids Public Museum. But is there more to these legends than just tall tales? Those stories and plenty more next on West Side Stories.
West Side Stories is produced by students from the Multimedia Journalism program at Grand Valley State University. Support also comes from the School of Communications. Inspiring thought, perfecting practice.
Welcome to West Side Stories. I'm Preston Donikoski.
And I'm Callie Hubbard. When Hollywood celebrities showed up at the annual Golden Globe Awards, many of them showed up wearing black.
It was a gesture of solidarity protesting sexual harassment. Reporter Sam Schrepferman was at Grand Valley State University where she witnessed another gesture of solidarity. This one celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day with a silent walk through campus.
It was cold and windy last Monday, but that didn't stop GVSU faculty, staff, and students from gathering outside of Zumberg Hall. They were there celebrating the life and achievement of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Kin Ma, co-chair of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Commemoration Committee, says MLK Day at GVSU has a tremendous amount of support.
This march can anywhere have 500 to 1,000, sometimes more. It is students, faculty, staff, the president of Grand Valley, administration members, and community members are coming out to march.
People of all ages, genders, and ethnicities were represented, supporting a man who was known as a humanitarian and an activist for civil rights. At the 75th Golden Globe Awards, another outspoken leader made a case for tolerance and openness. Oprah Winfrey took to stage after winning the Cecil B. DeMille Award for Lifetime Achievement. In her speech, she focused on the effects of sexual misconduct on our society and the opportunities we have to positively affect the future. She said, quote, "I want all the girls watching to know a new day is on the horizon, and when that new day finally dawns, it will be because of a lot of magnificent women, many of whom are right here in this room tonight, and some pretty phenomenal men fighting hard to make sure they are the leaders to take us to the new time where nobody has to say, 'Me too' again." Winfrey's call to action was a call for leaders. Grand Valley State University's athletic director, Carrie Becker, saw Winfrey's speech as a way for the community to take a leadership role.
I think it challenges people to find their voice and to find the greatness and the goodness and to be kind to one another and to respect each other for their differences, and then also challenge each other to push those limits, push those boundaries, and have some discourse and some conversations and dialogue that change the thinking.
With both MLK Day and the movements headed up by Winfrey, Ma says that it isn't about a specific group being represented, but every group.
I think it's important that it's for all people. It is not just one particular race or one particular ethnicity, that Dr. Martin Luther King really stood for equality for all, and not based on color, but having the mosaic, the American mosaic be represented, whether it's Asian American, Native American, Indian American, all of those different ethnicities, as well as African American, so that we can stand in solidarity and have a more perfect union.
GVSU and leaders like Winfrey say they will continue to fight for the ideas of openness and equality. In Allendale, I'm Sam Schrepferman.
Some GVSU students, faculty, and staff also participated in MLK Jr. Day of Service and Solidarity, which took place yesterday on campus. According to GVSU's Community Service Learning Center, participants took part in a variety of service projects, like making water filters, organizing food donations to refugee families, and helping out at the Family Haven Homeless Shelter.
Now that the new year is in full swing, people are trying to fulfill those New Year's fitness resolutions. West Side Stories' Reagan Blissett visits a popular local gym and gives us some tips on how to get in shape.
New year, new you. Some people's New Year's resolution might often lead you to the gym, where you can start off the year on the right track. Many declare their workout goals on social media, the same place where thousands were talking about those crazy hats they saw in Times Square on New Year's Eve.
I love that we were able to coordinate with the Rockin' New Year's Eve with Jenny McCarthy. It really set a tone for the beginning of the year. Sometimes people don't enjoy coming to the gym, but Jenny McCarthy really set up that excitement for us. So everybody is excited to come to the gym.
This time of year, Planet Fitness is swamped with new members. Personal trainer David Laponzi tells newbies to keep workouts simple and doable.
First and foremost, to have clear, realistic expectations of what they can actually achieve. Not, I'm going to get to the gym every day this month. Maybe choose 3-4 days out of the week that you can make it to the gym for sure.
In January, this place can be a zoo, and that has some longtime members complaining to management that they can't get to the equipment they need.
So at this club, we are 24/7, so we really tell anyone that's concerned that they can come in at any time and get their workout in. Otherwise, we do have tons of cardio here too, so there's really never any wait times for machines like that.
Chad Tatro has been a member since this Planet Fitness opened last year. He says he's never had a problem finding equipment to use.
It's like the first time I stepped in here, it's like house family. They're just very welcoming, warm-hearted. If you're having a bad day, they're going to definitely put a smile on your face.
Not only has Planet Fitness seen an increase of members, but also the recreation center at Grand Valley State University. However, one college student has a more extreme fitness journey ahead of her. Her name is Brooke Bauman, a national bikini competitor.
I've been in prep for 11 weeks. I have a 22-week prep. I work out, I lift weights 6 times a week. I do cardio 6 times a week. I have one full rest day. I can spend anywhere from 2 to 3 hours at the gym right now.
Bauman is no stranger to the spotlight. It started 3 years ago when she found a passion for nutrition. She combined that passion with bodybuilding and discovered her love for competing. Now she's getting ready for her 5th competition on March 31st. Bauman, or known as Muscle Barbie Brooke on Instagram, shares her fitness journey with over 25,000 followers. She wants her followers to know anyone can accomplish their fitness goals too.
Some people look at fitness Instagrams like, oh, she's intimidating. Like, I don't want that. I want to be able to put out there that, yes, this is what I look like and this is what I can do, but I want you to know that you can too.
Bauman says a New Year's resolution is a great opportunity for a lifestyle change.
One of the people that always encourage newcomers into the gym, I think that the New Year's aspect of it is a great mindset change.
While most people here are just trying to lose a little weight, Bauman's resolution is to be fitter and stronger than ever. From Allendale, I'm Reagan Blissett.
Bauman's next competition is March 31st, and she says she's excited to see where her fitness journey takes her. Eventually, she says she wants to go pro.
Our next story also involves working out, but at an entirely different kind of gym. West Side Stories reporter Coy Wynn visits one Michigan high school that has built a cutting-edge facility.
Go. Back in 2012, East Kentwood built an athletic facility for students and staff. According to Marty Martins, an East Kentwood strength coach, the weight room expanded from 1,000 feet to 6,000 feet and is still one of the most advanced weight rooms in the state.
As we grew the program, the school got more and more behind us because we've become one of the largest electives that we had in school. And so as those things happen, we found ways to get extra funding into the program, and as we were able to get extra funding in the program, we were able to get extra training tools.
According to Martins, over 600 students use this facility every day. Some, like varsity football player Logan Brown, is adamant on how much Martins' program has helped him over the years.
Martins in this weight room has changed me as a man. It's given me opportunities that other places and other people could not give me.
Darian Freeman graduated from East Kentwood. Now he's going to be a father. He says that when his children get old enough to get into sports, he wants them to go here.
I would rather them have this school with this facility. I mean, this facility has been particularly picked out. It's been well strategized by Coach Martins and the staff here, and they did a good job of getting everything that's essential and then things that people aren't really looking at as far as high schools to further athletes' progression. So
I just read a couple of reps, and he's looking somewhere between 0.8 and 1.0 meters per second, 1.28, 1.17, 1.16. We're going to have him rack it after this rep, 1.15. Now, that right now, that tells us that Nick, based upon his measurement, his bar speed, he could increase weight.
Since 2012, the facility has acquired some equipment like power racks, stretching bands, and even pitch sharks. With all the advances they gained over the years and the current members they have, Martin still welcomes new athletes and students willing to learn and grow as athletes and as a person.
I would encourage someone out there, if they see this, to come and visit us. The doors are always open, you know, as the doors are for me as I've traveled around the country. It's awesome to give back to the community. I love doing what we do. You know, you take these people and you really change them. Their bodies, their minds, you know, their spirits, their emotions. And East Kentwood's a great place. It's an incredible place, and we're on the cutting edge. And I don't think there's another place like it out in the country.
With talks of expansion and getting new equipment, Marty Martin says the sky's the limit for East Kentwood High School. From Grand Rapids, I'm Coy Wynn.
According to the East Kentwood athletic staff, they have outgrown their current facility and are hoping to expand the building by another 3,000 feet.
Lions, tigers, and mermaids. The Grand Rapids Public Museum has a new mythical creatures exhibit that features beasts that may be more than just a myth. Jessica Kroll has the story.
The Grand Rapids Public Museum's Dragons, Unicorns, and Mermaids third floor traveling exhibit takes you on a mythical tour through land, sea, and air.
Being a local community hub for history, culture, and science, it made absolutely perfect sense to bring it in at a time where we are seeing unicorns and mermaids and dragons and so much more throughout pop culture.
And it's a childhood dream come true. A room filled with the mythical creatures we all read about as kids.
In the sea area, you're going to see krakens coming out of the floor and mermaids, but you're also going to see real creatures that are out there in our oceans that might be why these creatures were thought to be.
But could there be a truth behind some of these mythical creatures? Grand Valley State University Assistant Professor of Classics, Dr. Charles Ham, doesn't seem to think so.
There's an easy answer to that, which is no. I don't think that there's any what I would call scientific evidence for the existence of those creatures.
But that's not to say that some of these creatures aren't similar to real animals.
One of the things that's interesting about these magical creatures is that many of them are, based on creatures that do in fact exist, right? So dragons, of course, have similarities to reptiles, snakes, and especially to dinosaurs.
One myth started with a miniature elephant skull.
When it was found, it was also believed to be a cyclops. At that time, someone wasn't aware that the trunk air breathing hole would have been for that purpose, and it just looks like an eye socket, and you can see the one-eyed creature coming from there.
The museum has included the myths of various cultures as well as a few interactives throughout the exhibit.
Ancient Chinese dragons are in this. There's a great interactive where you're going to be able to build your own dragon, picking out its features, and then adding it on screen so that you get to see your own touches become a part of the exhibit.
Patrons are visiting this exhibit even though they know these creatures aren't or never have been real. They may be interested because it leaves them with a sense of wonder.
Human beings seem to be interested in, speculating about, what they can't see or what they don't know exists, but that could possibly exist.
For West Side Stories, I'm Jessica Kroll.
If you would like to experience dragons, myths, and mermaids yourself, you can visit the exhibit at the Grand Rapids Public Museum until May 20th.
And if you're interested in finding some new places to explore and new food and drink to sample, then you want to stay tuned. We've got some great stories coming up. But first, let's take a look at some local events coming up in our weekly calendar. Everyone knows that Grand Rapids is famous for its many bars and breweries. In fact, the town once known as Furniture City earned itself the title of Beer City USA back in 2012 and hasn't looked back since. West Side Stories reporter Jake O'Donnell has a scoop about one of the heroes behind the scenes of the West Michigan beer movement.
Since the early 1990s, one small market on Lake Michigan Drive has found itself at the heart of the Grand Rapids beer boom. Siciliano's Specialty Market is known for its role in the growth and development of many local brewing establishments. Under the ownership of Steve Siciliano and his wife Barb, what was once a run-of-the-mill party store has been transformed into a beer lover's paradise.
If you want to be let's say a world-class beer store, you have to carry all the world-class beers. That way, folks know that they can pretty much get what they need here. If it's available locally, we have it.
Siciliano's not only sells the finished products of many local breweries, but also provides them with the ingredients necessary to create their signature beers.
So many local professional brewers came from the home brewing ranks. And we got to know those folks over the years, and it's really kind of neat to know most of the professional brewers around Beer City USA, because we knew them as customers. I don't think we directed them towards their goal in life to become a professional brewer, but we were here perhaps helping them a little bit, so feel pretty good about that.
Siciliano's doesn't just serve as a go-to place for beer making supplies. Rather, as local author and beer expert Patrick Evans suggests, it is the birthplace of the beer boom itself.
Without Steve Siciliano at Siciliano's Market, Grand Rapids beer wouldn't be what it is. I'd say at least 80% of the brewers that are making beer commercially in Grand Rapids got their start buying, grains and hops from Steve.
One of the major things that Siciliano says makes his shop so successful is the dedication and hard work of his employees.
You have to find good employees who are very passionate about beer. You have to find employees who know what they're talking about. You have to find folks who just love talking about beer. That's what separates us perhaps from some of the chain stores where you can go in and buy some craft beer now, but chances are you're not going to find anybody to talk about it. So that was our commitment, and we've developed that over the years.
Another thing that keeps the market running strong, Siciliano says it's the hometown feel and the dedication of its loyal customers.
The cool thing about mom and pop shops, I think it's almost a dying breed, but the cool thing about a store like ours is that the relationships you have with customers. So many times I'll be sitting at my desk doing something and one of the customers will come in, and I keep a metal folding chair in the area just in case they want to sit down and chat. And it's just that relationship with the customers that really is a wonderful thing. I have so many friends I've met through this business, and that's invaluable.
Despite its size, 5,000 square feet to be exact, Siciliano's Market will continue to be a major player in the West Michigan beer scene. Reporting from Grand Rapids, I'm Jake O'Donnell.
Thanks, Jake. Whether you're a beer lover or not, Siciliano's offers something that anyone can enjoy, a living piece of Michigan history.
In keeping with our beer theme, next up is a story from WGVU Digital Studios, The Draft. Host Patrick Center visits Oddside Ales in Grand Haven. Check it out.
apricot dank juice, citra dank juice, pink guava dank juice, and dirty dank juice.
Let's not forget passion dank juice, Patrick.
Passion dank juice. Reed, you know the big board here. What do you got here?
That's a dirty dank juice for you.
All right, dank, 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 dank. What's up with dank here at Oddside Ales in Grand Haven?
Dank juice came from a conception early on when the New England style IPA craze started to happen this beginning of summer. Started off as Dr. Dank Juice. We do have a doctor on staff who has his PhD.
Is he on call?
He's usually on call, and he will bring you beer ASAP. Cheers, bud.
Oh, cheers, absolutely. Okay,
so dank is simply it's just gonna have a nice. The aroma is dank. It's very much there. It's an IPA, very approachable, not too bitter. It was an awesome summertime drinker, so we started rolling with it. Why not? We're odd side. We like to be odd.
So New England style, from what I've heard, I've not had a true New England style yet. I'm getting a little ahead of the game there.
It's delicious.
From what I understand, you're removing kind of that bitterness, right? The finish, the bitter finish.
That's where when I use the word approachable, it's almost like a gateway IPA for people. The IBUs are lower. It's smooth, but you still get all the nice characteristics of an IPA. It's definitely full-bodied. But again, it doesn't have that slap you in the face, hoppy bitterness that so many people try to avoid.
All right, well, let's see if that's the case here. I'm no doctor, I just play one on TV.
It's got that creamy mouthfeel to it.
It does, you're right, and it is very approachable. So, you have a lot of approachable beers here.
We do.
All right.
From the dank juice.
Well, let's stick with the dirty dank today. This is really very good. Reed, thanks for having us in today.
Very happy you guys made it out. It's a beautiful Grand Haven. It's not summertime, but
they'd love to see you out here on the draft. Cheers.
Cheers.
No, don't those beers look delicious, Preston? Have we made you into a beer drinker yet?
Not yet, and I get the hard work and I appreciate the effort that goes into it, but personally I just can't get over the taste. But in our next studio segment from WGVU Digital Studios, that's bound to get your stomach growling. I know mine has been growling for a little while. But in this Order Up segment, we take you to the Grove restaurant and show you how they make a signature dish called shrimp and grits.
What we're doing today is our newest rendition of our shrimp and grits here at Grove. We've had it on the menu since day one. Each season we just kind of do a different riff on it. Right now we're into collard greens that we're getting from Visser Farms, so we got a lot of collards in here. We're gonna do some peppers, some caramelized onions, top pan for our grits. We've got our collard greens here that have been fermented overnight. It wouldn't be grits without some cheese, so we're gonna add a little bit of Colby and white cheddar. Once we get our garlic nice and caramelized, we're gonna add those to the grits. As you can see, it's all starting to come together. We're just gonna get them nice and soft. Come over with our shrimp. Hit those with a little salt and pepper as well. A little butter. Just want to saute them so they start to turn pink. Perfect, perfect. Now we're just waiting on our shrimp. Getting close. Here we go. While we're waiting for those to finish just the last little minute, we can start plating the dish. We got all the fun stuff here. We got a little apple puree. More apple puree on the plate. A little toasted pistachio. I'm going to do a little brown butter powder. pickled cauliflower, a little fried kale. Then we have these really nice microgreens that I got from our friends over at VPF Farms. There you have it. Grilled shrimp and grits.
Support for WGVU Digital Studios Order Up, provided by Spartan Nash. Spartan Nash, taking food places. More at spartannash.com.
Now, shrimp and grits, Callie, that's a combo I can get behind.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the shrimp part sounds good. I'm not sure about the grits, but it's worth a try.
See, when you eat grits, I'll drink beer. So how about that for a deal? But that is all the time we have in today's show. I'm Preston Donikoski.
And I'm Callie Hubbard. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
West Side Stories is produced by students from the Multimedia Journalism program at Grand Valley State University. Support also comes from the School of Communications, inspiring thought, perfecting practice.